It's time for Rabbi Minkowicz's weekly Torah lesson. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowicz.
Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha VAYAKHEL Pekudei, double Torah portion, Parsha Chazak. And the question of the week is, how can we stay connected to God? So in this week's Torah portion, Parsha VAYAKHEL, the Torah begins, Moshe Rabbeinu gathers all the Jewish people and tells them the laws of Shabbat. And he says, Eila hadvarim. These are the words referring to all the 39 malachot that we learn what's a malacha, what's considered work, in reference to Shabbat from the Mishkan. So the question is, how do you get 39? The verse says, Eila, these are, where are the 39? So there's different commentaries that tell us how you get to 39. One of the opinions is that Eila is made up of 3 letters. Aleph is 1, Lamed is 30, now Hey is 5, that only gives you 36. So you're missing 3. So some people say you add the 3 letters of the word. Some people say you add Hadvarim, which is 2, and the word Eila, etc. But there's another opinion that says, very interesting, that the Hey and the Ches are interchangeable. So if the Hey and Ches are interchangeable, so instead of Aleph Lamed Hey, you have Aleph Lamed Ches. So Aleph is 1, Lamed is 30, Ches is 8, so you have 39. So Eila, when the Hey is interchanged with the Ches, you have the 39 malachot. Because the question is, if it's about the 39 malachot, so why does it say Eila? Just say Aleph Lamed Ches. So the Rebbe gives a fascinating insight, and he says like this. Because what is the basic difference between the Hey and the Ches? You find, where do we find another similar difference between Hey and Ches? By chametz and matzah. Matzah is with a Hey, Mem Tzadik is the same letters, and Hey, and chametz is also Mem Tzadik with a Ches. So what's the difference between a Ches and the Hey? Though chametz is forbidden on Passover, matzah is permissible. Why? Because chametz rises, and matzah is humble. In other words, where do you see that in the letter Ches and Hey? Because Ches has basically a line on each side and a line on top, but it's closed. There's no opening to go out. And that, when it's all about yourself, and all you think about self, then that's arrogance. Versus the Hey, there's a little opening to go out, which is referring to God. You always remember God, and that creates humility, and that is matzah, and that's our cause of humility and connecting to God. So you see clearly that Ches resembles arrogance and self, and Hey resembles humility and God. So here the Torah tells us a fascinating insight. Eila, when you want to have the physical structure of all the 39 malachot, yes, you have Ches, and that gives you all 39. That's how you get to it. But the Torah tells you, even though you have all 39, always remember God. And that's why the Hey, it's written with a Hey, for us to remind us we should always remember God. So to answer the question, how can we stay connected to God? To remember that even though it's 39, which is Aleph Lamed Ches, but the Torah writes Eila, which is the Hey, and as long as we remember the Eila, we'll remember that we need a little opening for God, and then we will stay connected to God. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. This week's Torah lesson is dedicated to the memory of Baruch ben Ari Leib and Shlomo ben Yosef. May their souls be elevated by the Torah that we're studying in their memory. For more information about Chabad, please see our website.